Hello and welcome to Healthy Lifestyle webinar, The Key for Better Lives. Today, we will be having the first session, which is the introduction or overview of healthy lifestyle. You might wonder, what is lifestyle? Well, it is the way a person or group lives. It is a particular way of living. If we look further, lifestyle is the time represented by the dash, which is between the day that we are born to the day of our death. So it is the way that we live our lives or the activities that we have done while we are alive. Remember that you are the driver of your own life and you have the full authority in managing your own life. However, it is also important to note that you are also responsible for your own life. It is your responsibility to take good care of your health and obtain an optimum level of it. In this session, we will determine and briefly discuss the key components for a better life. First, let us identify some key components of healthy lifestyle. We have here the sunlight, the water, and the air. So the three components, sunlight, water, and air, is from our environment, or we can access those elements in our surroundings. Next is rest, exercise, or physical activities, or the things that we do that involves movement. Nutrition, or the food that we eat. So the three components are related to our behavior or to the way we do things. So the rest, the exercise, and nutrition. Next, we have temperance or self-control and trust. These last two components are related to the mental aspect, and it involves the choices or the way we think. Now let's proceed to the first component. It is sunlight. Sunlight is the prime source of heat. But when we think of sunshine, we might also think of cancer, skin cancer to be exact. Also being sunburned, which is really painful. So why these negative connotations in our mind? Where in fact, sunlight is the main source of vitamin D, which has proven to decrease the risk for many cancers. And sunlight is not just for vitamin D, it is also a serotonin booster, of which it regulates anxiety, happiness, and mood. Sunlight promotes the sense of well-being. Sense of well-being is promoted by sunlight and the mood is elevated. Studies have shown that lower level of this chemical in our body is associated with depression. For most people, sunlight is an important therapy, a part of healing, especially if combined with exercise, to prevent and treat acute and chronic depression. So sunlight helps improve our mood and the secret of being happy, as well as to prevent being depressed is to have an appropriate amount of sunlight. The same with the plants, such as this so-called sunflower principle, of which allows them to grow fully well. Indeed, they need sunlight. As you observed, the sunflowers fully bloom if it is sunny. The sunflower has the ability to move with the sun across the sky from east to west. The sunflower's bloom always faces to the sun. If plants need the sunlight, we human beings have to remember that sunlight is a necessity for our health. Immunity is increased by exposure to sunlight, and our body's resistance to infection is being strengthened. Bones are strengthened by sunlight too. It allows the body to make vitamin D, which helps calcium absorption from the intestines and calcium deposit in building healthy bones. So sunlight prevents us from having osteoporosis or fractures known as broken bones. So there is also a connection that there is a lowered incidence of dental cavities if one has a proper exposure to sunlight. So always remember that it's not all that bad being exposed to sunlight. So enjoy the sun moderately and it will increase your vitality and good health. So the first component to a healthy lifestyle is from our environment, which is the sunlight. The second one is water. Water is the main constituent of Earth's hydrosphere and the fluids of all known living organisms. Where there is water, there is life. All living things, the plants, the animals, and we human beings could survive because of water. Most vocal problems are rooted in dehydration. Did you know that? That's massive. Water actually fixes stuff in our body. It is our body's lubricant. Because the body is 70% water, keeping well hydrated and knowing what and when to drink are essential to health. It enhances the circulation as well as our immune system, which is, it could create wonderful ways and healthy ways in our body. Water is also necessary to regulate our body temperature. Studies have shown that drinking enough water can increase your metabolism by 24 to 30% over 1 to 1.5 hours. So this can amount to 96 additional calories burnt if you drink 8 to 4 cups or 2 liters of water per day. However, we have guidelines in the number of cups that we need to drink in a day. It could be depending on our body weight. And further discussion of that will be in our coming sessions. So remember to drink enough water because there is no adverse effect for sure. The third component that we have is air. So air is the mixture of gases that surrounds the earth and that we breathe. The body's most essential resource is air. The air or oxygen is one of the body's most fundamental needs. Poor air quality makes us tired and unproductive, and polluted air can make us sick. So remember that fresh air is vital to our health. Oxygen is literally the be all and end all. Clean air and a well oxygenized body is so important for maintaining optimum health. All of our body functions require oxygen to work efficiently. Air pollution is one of the environmental problems that can give us difficulty in obtaining fresh and clean air. Air pollution can cause a lot of adverse effects in our health. It increases the risk of respiratory infections, heart diseases, and lung cancer. Nowadays, sad to say, because of the pandemic, we are facing a lot of challenges, such as staying indoor. We must be careful because an indoor pollution is harmful and it could lead to health deterioration. More important than food and water, proper breathing, including deep breathing and pure air, are fundamental to good health. As we all know that without air, we will die in minutes. So always remember, fresh air improves longevity and it is healthy to the immune system, lungs, and good for the heart. It is also for the brain. It could improve learning and memory and increase a sense of security and well-being. It is more fresh outdoors. So if you have the chance, go out and be in nature. The very best air quality can be found in nature. So have a walk in nature, such as in mountains, places with lots of trees, along the ocean, waterfalls, or even after the rain. The air is really refreshing in that moment. So it is important to really value the air and make sure that you have a good quality of it. Another component is rest. Rest means to cease from working or moving in order to relax, refresh yourself, or recover your strength. So restoration requires rest because sleep allows the body to renew itself. All throughout the day, we usually get exhausted or worn out. It can be either because of our work or for the students because of your studies. You have a lot of homework and also a lot of reports, preparing for exams. You have your um, dissertations or thesis and a lot more to do. That is why rest is definitely important for health. Early to bed and early to rise is a vital health principle, and practicing a healthy lifestyle makes this principle easier to maintain. We need to rest our body to be renewed, to be recharged, and in that way, we can work properly the next day. People who have enough rest have better life quality and also better mental and emotional health. Also, having enough sleep of at least 7 to 8 hours enables a person to handle stress well and better in memories and learning activities. There are many healthy ways of enjoying rest, aside from getting enough sleep, such as spending time alone in a quiet place, reading a good book, or being with the nature. It is important to note that you have to avoid screen time or using your gadgets an hour before sleeping. And make sure your room is dark. Fatigue is a big issue in society today. We really do not function at our best when we are deprived from sleeping. Our adrenal glands kick into overdrive, and in that state is usually wearing on the body. The effects of sleep deprivation, especially long-term sleep deprivation, are well documented. So here are just a few. It could increase risk of obesity, leading to death, increased chance of a stroke, leading to death, increased risk of diabetes that could also lead to death, memory loss and loss of brain cognitive function that enables a person to be dysfunctional or could not think properly. That is why having a good rest and enough sleep is important in obtaining good health and well-being. The next component we have is exercise. So exercise is a physical activity for conditioning the body, improving health, and maintaining fitness. It is one love life that our body needs movement because if we are not active, it could lead to many illnesses and it is easy to get stuck in bad habits. Exercise is one of the best tools that we have to prevent lifestyle diseases, to improve or regain our health, to get into better shape, and get more energy. Not to mention its helpful benefit to lift our mood. So exercise could help us be more active, happy, and positive. Moreover, muscle tone and strength are lost without exertion, but having exercises or physical activities improve the health of body, mind, and spirit, multiplying vitality and health. In order for the brain to be more clear and have the strength of thought in retentive memory, the muscles of the body should have exercises in every portion of the day to preserve and improve health. So exercise includes physical activities or indoor, such as treadmill or stretching. So if you have access to beautiful surroundings, you should not miss to walk around. But because of this pandemic, I know that it's really hard to go out. So despite of that, you can still do indoor exercises or do physical activities such as games and sports or just being active in a portion of the day. And for sure that it could really help you in maintaining a good health. For those who can walk, walking is preferable to riding. The muscles and veins are enabled better to perform in their work. There will be increased in vitality, which is so necessary to health. Aside from that, the lungs will have needful action, for it is impossible to go out in the bracing air without inflating the lungs. So remember to keep moving. Do some things, do some physical activities that you enjoy the most. And it's not just that you are enjoying, you are also improving your health. Now let's proceed to nutrition. It is the process of providing or obtaining the food necessary for health and growth. It is important to make healthy choices in the food that we eat because an adage says that you are what you eat. Yes, you are what you eat. It is important to be careful and be mindful in choosing the food that we put in our body. As the car needs fuel to function, the food will also enable us to function better. A more plant-based diet is highly recommended to obtain optimum level of health and of course to avoid junk food and even processed food. It is because the following list of common complaints can be directly linked to the consumption of meat and dairy products. So this could be heart disorders, impaired digestion, obesity, diarrhea, acne, gas and bloating, body odor, dry scaly skin, constipation, allergies, fatigue, headaches, depression, anger, congestion, runny nose, irritability, hemorrhoids, imbalance, and a lot more. So these are all linked to nutrition or to the food that we eat or to the diet that we practice. According to Hippocrates, 2,500 years ago, he said that let your food be your medicine and your medicine be your food. A vegetarian diet, well put together, is nutritionally adequate and can have positive health effects when it comes to the prevention and treatment of the diseases mentioned earlier. And further discussion about this will be done in our following session. Using less amount of animal products make the body function better. So remember that proper nutrition is the foundation of good health and recovery. There are many health issues that linked to nutrition with diseases. So that is why we should be very mindful with the choices of food that we're going to put in our body. Now we have temperance. So what is temperance? Temperance is also included as one of the components of healthy lifestyle. Temperance is a moderation or voluntarily self-restraint. It is described in terms of what an individual voluntarily refrains from doing. So here are some examples of the things that we need to take control. The food that we eat. Binge eating or eating too much can lead to obesity and other eating problems that could lead to health deterioration and even affect our heart functions. Also, staying up all night or spending too much time in our gadgets, in our computers, in our smartphones, in any gadgets that you have. So this could also lead to some brain malfunctions and could greatly affect our health negatively. Consuming substances as well. like drinking alcohol or um, beverages with caffeine, smoking, or um, even nicotine patches. So those substances are really harmful and need to be avoided as it can be addictive and also could lead to health deterioration and even can cause death. Being sedentary as well has a negative effect to one's health and well-being. In the next session, we will tackle more about this component and how it could really affect our health. But take note that showing moderation with the use of good things and avoiding bad things is a clever thought. However, it is unfortunate that it is really hard or difficult to put it into practice. One cannot buy a little temperance or get it as a gift. It is something that must be learned and practiced, something that we have to decide on, to choose. Moderation in all things, and thus it requires self-control or self-discipline. So those are the things that we need to do. We need to control ourselves or we need to discipline ourselves in order to have this moderation in the things that we are doing. We are down to the last component of healthy lifestyle, which is trust. Trust is a firm belief in the reliability, truth, ability, or strength of someone or something. It is important to believe in yourself that you can do something better, that you can overcome the challenges that will come in your way. Earlier in this session, we are reminded that we are the drivers of our lives. So we have the full control and also we have the choice to do better or to choose the positive aspect of life. It is also important to trust your friends or peers or the people that can make a positive impact to your life. It could be your guidance counselor, it could be your teacher, it could be your local pastor, or anyone that could give a positive or encourage you to live a better life. Trust in your family is also vital, and trust in the divine power or our God is also important. Trust in the divine power is directly linked to better physical health and a gift leading to right choices. A relationship with no trust is like a car without gas. You can stay in it, but it won't go anywhere. So it is really important to not just trust yourself, but also the people that care for you and positively influence you to be better and healthier. To those who are sick, they trust, they put their trust to their doctors. To those who are mentally challenged, they put their trust to their psychologist. So remember that trust is a vital aspect in having a better life. So remember these healthy lifestyle components. We have the sunlight, the water, air, rest. We also have exercise and nutrition, the temperance, and trust. Remember that these healthy lifestyle components are health greatest safeguards. Also, we have additional component, which is the general physical condition or the overall health status. So it means that general physical condition includes your health and wellness in terms of how often you get sick and the level of your blood pressure, as well as blood sugar, and also including the regularity of your bowel movement. Just take note that further discussion about this will be done in the coming session. So, it is your choice. Having a healthy lifestyle leading to a better life is definitely depends on you and you alone. The choice is yours. Thank you for your participation. Thank you for joining and see you in the next session.